Hello, hello, and welcome back to another video at the Little Light Legacy. This is a very spontaneous video. I don't really have anything planned. I know I told you guys I was going to do the pick a card. I am going to record that, but I just wanted to sit down with you guys and talk a little bit about the energies that are going on right now, especially because I am a Cancer moon and rising, and I feel like I really connect to these energies. And at the beginning of the cancer season, I was like, I got this under control. Like, I'm always dealing with these highs and lows, and I'm really in tune with the moon and the water. So, like, I got this. But honestly, it hasn't just been my emotions that's been feeling it, it's also been my body and my physical vessel, and even like my brain. So, if the energies are really heightened, even for me, someone that goes through these ebb and flows like almost every 2.5 days because the moon switches into different signs. If it's even hard for me to tackle, I could only imagine how extreme and hard it is for others, especially because I've seen it in my personal life. Like this weekend, I hanged out with my family, which was lovely where we went. I loved it was a river and, it was natural waters from the mountains and it was really pure waters. Love that. Didn't really love the fact that everyone was very heightened and very like moody and everyone was going at each other's throats. So I've seen it in my personal life, among my family. I've seen it in my relationship. Emotions have just been really heightened. There's been like kind of like this miscommunication going on in my relationship as well. And I've felt like I've been detached from my partner because I felt like I needed to detach to really protect myself and my energy right now. And yeah, so I've seen it in my family, I've seen it in my relationship, and then I've seen it with my body. I was getting like menstrual symptoms, but really extreme, but I wasn't like I did not have my menstrual cycle. It's way too early. So that's why I feel like this new moon in Cancer has been a pivotal point in our reality and in our timeline and what is yet to come. It's like this new moon in Cancer because the new moon it's all about planting those seeds. It's all about new energy, new beginnings. I feel like it is a new beginning. We can't deny that. But it's this new beginning that is like either you get your shit together or you stay stuck and don't complain about it because we're allowing you to get your shit together and you not doing nothing about it is on your own behalf. And as extreme as this sounds, I feel like that's the energy that is occurring right now. I was also really frustrated because I was getting a lot of technical issues while I was trying to put my podcast out. And I was getting really discouraged because, someone commented on like, why was I putting so much energy into it? And it was just a lot of these things. And it just made me realize you are truly in control of your emotions. You are truly in control of your energy, and you are able to alchemize anything that comes your way. And you are able to take the time that you need to fill it out, to feel the anger, to feel the frustration, to feel the pain, to feel the discouragement, whatever emotions that you're feeling at this time, they're being brought up for you to sit with them. Do not allow them to consume you to the point where you're in this pit and you can't come out of it. But do allow yourself to process the emotions and understand where are they coming from and why certain things have this hold on you or this effect on you, or even more so, why you allow certain things to have this hold on you or this effect on you. another thing that was also brought up for me is the fact that not everyone is meant to understand you as a water sign, as someone that all my freaking placements want to just communicate and make sure that we get to a point where both individuals are heard and understood and we find a solution. It's just this realization that not everyone is going to understand you. And if someone tells you, I get you, but I don't want to get you, then that is your cue to not be wasting more energy there because they get you, they hear you. They just don't want to understand and resonate with you on that deep emotional level that you require. Cancer season is not easy. I think any water season is not easy, honestly, but this cancer season just seems very extreme and volatile uh, because we are seeing Mother Earth as a reflection of what is occurring internally within us and collectively with all of us. The water's acting up. It's not just out of nowhere. The animals acting up. It's not just out of nowhere. And we need to really learn how to channel these emotions in more of a positive release instead of wanting to punch someone in the throat or instead of screaming, which sometimes you do need to scream, you do need to release it. Screaming is actually very healthy for us. Not necessarily screaming at someone else, but like screaming into the void or going to the top of a mountain and then screaming it all out or screaming into your pillow. Now, something that doesn't really affect someone else could be really pivotal at this time, but also like moving our bodies. It's one of the fastest ways to transmute the energies, to transmute emotions, because you don't want these emotions to stay stuck and stagnant within your body, especially at this time where we are being told that we need to zone the fuck in and get right with the things that we want and get aligned with the things that we want and really put our energy and our chi and our flow into it. And I feel like that's another point I want to touch on using our chi. Our chi is our life force, it's our energy, which correlates a lot with how we do things and how we manifest things into the physical realm. If your chi is off balance, which it could be a off balance due to a lot of things, it could be off balance due to the food you eat. It could be off balance due to not being mindful of your practices and not being mindful of how you transmute energies. It could be off balance because not moving your body enough. It could be off balance because you don't give your body the things it truly needs, like being out in nature, like movement, like water that makes you feel alive, like things like that. Your chi could really be off balance, and our chi correlates a lot with the flow of things, and it correlates a lot with water and the way water flows and moves. And we could learn a lot about how to flow through life by just analyzing and looking at water. When we sit down around water, it's this relaxing feeling. It's this feeling of release. And if it is this feeling of being cleansed and feeling pure because I was having, I guess, cramps or abdominal pain. And I sat in the river and I asked the river to really help me connect to the part of my body that was in pain and to help me connect to it and understand why I was in pain and how to transmute it and to allow the pain to just flow with the water. If she wanted to help me, I was asking the river to take my pain away and to help me transmute that pain. And I kid you not, after I sat there about 10-15 minutes, my pain was extremely gone. I had no discomfort after. And I also think the coldness of the water had a lot to do with it because cold water really makes our cells revitalized and alive. Like how they tell you to dip your face into a bowl of ice water and it keeps you youthful. It's the same sense of like ice baths or taking a shower with cold water. It's just invigorating and it brings you to life. Something about cold water really brings you to life. Sometimes our body, of course, needs the warm water, and it just feels really soothing and good to take a warm shower sometimes. But something about cold water right now is really prominent. Something about water in general. But like, ocean water is cold, river water is cold, lake water is cold. Of course, there's those warm, more tempered waters, but there's emphasis on the coldness of it all right now. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that you're not alone in feeling the way you're feeling right now. I feel like everyone is very emotional, and it's just like a wake up call of how are we going to deal with all these emotions and what are we going to do with all these emotions and how are we going to apply all these emotions. I kind of do want to pull, I guess, some cards just to feel the vibe. Let's just do some this deck pose. Ask and you shall receive, and then spirituality. You see, our emotions connect us a lot to our spirituality. Our emotions really are kind of like that pivotal point of connection with spirit because it's like when we pray, sometimes it takes us to get to the point of hitting rock bottom for even us to reach out and pray to God or the universe. Sometimes it takes a feeling like empty and nothing to really call on the divine and really remember that we are connected to a divine force that is always around us and it's always available for us when we choose to really connect. And with the asking you shall receive card, it's giving me like you asked for this door to be open. So now buckle the fuck up and receive what is coming. Even if it's not coming in the way that you expected, this is coming because you asked for it. Yeah, it's just a time for us to really just connect to that softer flow of life. I'm not saying stop your goals and stop putting energy into the things that really fill you up, but there is like the sense of making sure that you're giving your energy to the right thing, making sure you're not overextending your energy, making sure you're not running yourself dry, making sure you're not overdoing it and overworking yourself and your body. Really connecting more to that spiritual aspect of life. It's like they're really saying that our spiritual needs are just as important as our physical needs right now. And there is like this balance that needs to be found between it all. Really connecting to the universal energy and trusting the natural unfolding of things that are occurring in your life. Relaxing, reflecting, creativity, the quietness, the rest. It's all really needed right now. And they're also emphasizing that spirit never dies. So I feel like even if you feel like kind of disconnected from spirit, it might just be that you're like at a pivotal point and they really just want you to find the answers within you because, you really don't need anything outside of yourself. All the answers are within you. And the more you connect with yourself and your emotions, and your thoughts, the more you find those answers within you, the more you come home to yourself, the more you find those answers within you. It's pivotal for us to be channeling our emotions in a very creative way right now. It's pivotal to really be protecting ourselves right now, especially if you're sensitive, especially if you feel the energy is really heightened, really like it could be a lot. It's really important for you to in tune with the spiritual dimension of your life. Like, where do you fit in? Not with outside forces, but within yourself. Where do you fit in within yourself? Tapping into those spiritual pursuits, tapping into meditation and yoga and things that really calm and send you down, but also really give you the answers that you're seeking and wanting. It's really important right now. Really bonding with yourself, really bonding with yourself, and really being vulnerable about your needs, about your wants, about have you been taking care of yourself? Have you been putting yourself first? Have you been giving your body the things that you need? Have you been giving your mind the things that you need? Have you just been escaping from reality and not really focusing on those hard truths that are coming up right now? It's also a time for us to really release a lot of mindsets, a lot of programming that we've had, and expectation. I quoted this more than once during the week. The more we expect, the more we become disappointed because we cannot expect anything from anyone. No one needs to react the way that you want them to react. No one needs to give you the things that you want. People do it because either they love you, either they take you into consideration, either they're so in tune with their emotions that they also understand where you're coming from. But remember, some people don't, some people can't, some people won't give you what you need and what you're asking for, no matter how many times you express it. If someone doesn't want to understand, someone will not understand. And I think it's pivotal for us to come to that realization at this very emotional point in our lives with all this very emotional energy, up in the air energy, that the more that we expect, the more we get disappointed. So it's best for us to stay open. Example, let's say you tell someone, I don't really feel comfortable with you treating me this way. And you express it one way. And they tell you, okay, yeah, I understand, I won't treat you that way. And it happens again. So you choose to express yourself in a different way. And now you kind of are expecting them to change because they told you, yeah, I hear you. Okay, there's going to be a change. Instead of expecting that change, be open to the energy and be open to really seeing what they're telling you with action instead of words. Someone could tell you their whole life that they're going to change, but if there is no actions to back it up, if there is no actions to show you this change, why would you keep believing someone when they are not backing it up? And I think that's kind of like the universe also like, okay, you guys are asking for this. You guys are saying you're going to put your everything into this. I'm trying to give it to you. I'm trying to open these doors for you. I'm literally putting it in front of you. All you have to do is walk through it. Why aren't you walking through it? Why do you keep asking for things and not putting the effort into them? It just really feels like that's kind of like the Sorry, I'm laughing because the next card is life depends on change and renewal. So it's kind of like the saying how delusion is when you do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I think it really correlates with our emotional state a lot too. If our emotional state does not back up our actions and our actions doesn't back up our emotional state, there won't be no change. Your emotions have to be aligned because emotions is literally energy and motion. And if you don't allow this energy to flow, there will be no change and there will be no renewal. And you can't expect life to be different if you continue to be in the same spiral of nothingness. It's really important that we are actively participating in our life and grounding ourselves and just being really appreciative of everything that we have. There is this energy of how Mother Earth is showing us how we're all interconnected, and it's really showing us how what affects her affects us. And there is this need of us to continue to be with Mother Earth and continue to connect ourselves with nature because Mother Earth literally helps us ground to our roots and helps us ground to our bodies and helps us ground to our fields in our bodies and all this energy that's surging within us. If you have been really moody and your energy has been up in the air, go ground yourself. Not just put your feet on some dirt. Literally lay your ass on some grass and talk to the air and see how good you feel afterwards. See how cleansed and clear you feel afterwards. There's also a need to keep up with our spiritual practices, like I said, really honoring your ancestors, really giving them their offerings, which is also a reflection of giving yourself your own offerings. Yes, you are the altar. You require offerings, baby. Stop slacking not only with your ancestors, but also with yourself. Give yourself the things that you deserve. The past is being highlighted through this Cancer season so much that it's pushing us to let go of a lot of those past thoughts, past scenarios, past ideas that we've had, that physical comfort, but also that spiritual comfort, because there's a big difference. And there's a balance that needs to occur with that. And it requires taking some risks. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone. It requires really looking at yourself and your bullshit and calling yourself out. It does require that. It requires you communicating and listening to the way that your body is communicating with you because your body is your vessel. Your body is what carries you on. You need to not only communicate with others, but also listen and communicate with your body and with your mind. Like, really pay attention to what you're telling yourself, really pay attention to those thoughts that are coming up, and really pay attention to how your body is reacting and what your body is telling you. Our body is literally screaming at us. And I know that is because there's a correlation with the flow of our energy and water. Like, I just know this and I feel it to my core. That's why our bodies are also doing their thing right now. There could also be miscommunication. Like I said, right now, some people are hearing you, but they are not listening. So just let it be. Just let it be. Don't project your needs onto someone else. Let them be. This is a pivotal point in our timeline to heal, to let go of those old wounds. A lot of old wounds are resurfacing. A lot of childhood issues need revisiting. Like I told you guys at the beginning, before we even got into July, I told you guys in June that there was a lot of mother wound healing, that there was a lot of father wound healing. All this correlates with Cancerian energy. All this correlates with water energy. There is a lot of childhood healing that is occurring in the collective, and they want you to remember your sacredness within yourself and how you're connected to everything and how you are able to bring the balance that you require into your life when you are able to understand the cycles that are occurring into your life and understand how all this brings wholeness to yourself. That is the ultimate goal, wholeness. You seek support and equality. Cancer, the father mother energy, the parental roles energy, complicated patterns of past life. There's a difference between support and assuming others' responsibilities. Some of us are people pleasers. Some of us want to do what others say so they could be happy. This is not their life, baby. This is your life. Do what makes you happy. If you're constantly wanting to make others happy, you're constantly going to be miserable because what others want from you is not what you want from you. Unless, of course, it aligns and, y'all all have the same vision and it makes sense. Then there's, of course, do pursue it. But if you're just pursuing something because someone else told you to do it, no, people don't understand the vision, and that's okay. You're here to do your own thing. You're here to make your own ripples. You're here to write your own wave. If no one in the world understands you, or you feel like no one in the world understands you, put yourself out there and see how many people actually feel you, how many people actually resonate with your energy. It might take some time, like my good friend told me today. My friend Isela, wonderful, beautiful soul that always has the right message for me at the right time. She told me some people aren't meant to get it, and it takes time. It takes time, but as long as you're consistent and you're putting in the work and you're being your genuine self and you're putting your heart and your soul into the things that matter to you, the real ones are going to feel you. You are sending that energy out into the world and it's going to be received with open arms, even if it's a slow process. It's process, baby. Just think back to a month ago. You probably were way too shy to even start. Or you probably were psyching yourself out. And look now, a month ahead, and you're here speaking your mind, allowing these things just to flow through you, allowing the message just to come through you are the wave. And you are popping. You are popping, baby. And you need to love yourself and you need to understand the God gift that you are, the gem that you are, the star that you are, the bright light that you are, and the ripple that you cause. You are not someone light. I don't know why they like you're not it's like they're making me feel like when you step, it's heavy. It's not light. You leave that fucking footprint. You leave that fucking footprint. Anywhere you step into, your energy is felt. You touch those that you need to touch. And you need to allow yourself to be loved. You need to allow yourself to be loved. Everything is unfolding as it should. Everything is unfolding as it should, and this is only leading you to the good vibes that you've always wanted, to the right people, to those that resonate with you, like I said. Not everyone's meant to feel you, but those that feel you are going to feel you. And if you allow yourself to go through this process, this deep emotional process, you will be able to jump into the timeline that you so see fit, that you so want in your life. You will be able to jump because you are making these shifts that need to be occurring. Being appreciative of all the abundance in your life will allow you to attract more abundance, whether that is abundance of peace, abundance of tranquility, abundance of love, abundance of prosperity, whatever abundance that you want or abundance in everything. You will be able to attract it if you allow yourself to go through these emotions right now. If you allow yourself to feel this shit out. It's like the universe is calling us out, telling us to get our shit together in a very emotional way. Because when we're able to control our emotions, no one is able to have control over us because we have mastered something that is very difficult to master. And a way that we could be able to control our emotions or feel our emotions or understand our emotions is through creativity, however that looks like for you. Whether it's painting, whether it's hiking, whether it's dancing, whether it's singing, whether it's martial arts, whether it's swimming, whatever fills your cup and allows this energy to flow, do it. Do it. There's also an increase in our psychic abilities right now. So if you feel like you have a message, put that message out there. If you feel like you're seeing so many synchronicities and it's just making sense and you need to look into it, look into it. If you have this certain pull that is telling you to do this instead of that, do it. Like really pay attention to your psychic abilities. My third eye is buzzing and my crown is tingling. So very much like some could be seeing images, some could be receiving downloads that are coming information that you have no clue how you're getting it or where you're getting it from because you've never learned this, you've never read it anywhere, but it makes sense and it's accurate. And when you look into it, it correlates. It's there. Psychic gifts are increasing right now. It's like the water is awakening something really dormant within us. And like I said, if you have a message to give, give it. And then it says deliver and receiving messages. I'm telling you, this energy of truth is out in the collective right now. This energy of speaking your fucking truth and putting it out there. And who gives a damn if people listen or don't listen, as long as you used your voice to do what you have to do, as long as you express yourself the way that you needed to express yourself, you did your part, baby. So learn how to deliver the messages that are coming to you and those messages that you're meant to pass down. Those that are hearing this, some of you are meant to pass messages down. Some of you are meant to put your voice out there and you're not doing it. And my head is beginning to hurt because I feel like there's so much information that you have been receiving, and for some reason you're not letting it out. You're not letting it be known. You're not speaking it into existence. You're not, I don't know why they have me touching my lips and moving my hand. Like something about letting it out, letting it out. Also being able to understand the messages that you are receiving, understanding the messages that you are receiving at this time. The knowledge is within you. The power is within you, is what they're saying. With those psychic gifts heightening, it's like they're saying, I don't know why they're showing me like a pick a card on YouTube. It's like they're saying you don't need to go do a pick a card. You already knew this information. You don't need to be doing pick a cards. You already had this information. And it sounded like a train or like a really like hollow noise going on. And then I felt like a tremble. I felt like if you were like, if your house was right next to the freeway and like a big truck went through it and like the whole house shake and then like just like an echo of a wind. That's what it felt like and that's what it sounded like. So yeah, it just feels like there's this need to really align with that like flow. Align with the flow. Let the events happen like they need to happen. Stop having so much constriction towards them. And remember, if you can't make progress the way that you're doing it, it's probably because the universe has a better way for you to do it. And you should really just ask your guides and you should really just ask yourself, how can I make this easier for myself? How can I do this in an easier way? Because it's time for that positive change. It's time for that positive change in your life. Whether that is in love and luck, growth, like all of these things are being brought up to the forefront. The self transformation that I really feel like transformations occur when we understand our emotions and we understand our thoughts and our feelings. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm a water sign, but I really feel if everyone would understand their emotions, the world would be such a more better place because things would just be clear. Like, we could just communicate with each other and get to the bottom line of something instead of like bickering and fighting, killing one another. We could just sit at a table and communicate and find a solution for things. But I don't know why we don't do that. And I mean, I do know it's because a lot of us are detached from our emotions. A lot of us move more from logic or move from survival, which gives us really little space to connect with our emotions. And, a lot of us were told I had to learn how to, as a water sign, it was very difficult growing up because I was told to suck it up. I was told that there was no need for crying, and crying was just a waste of tears and energy. So to suck it up and to move on with your life. And for a long time, I thought that was the way to go. Suck it up and move on. Suck it up and move on. But the more I sucked it up, the more I just held it inside. It wasn't going anywhere. It was stuck inside of me and it was making me furious and it wasn't allowing me to think clearly because as much as I thought I was releasing these emotions, they weren't going anywhere besides being stuck and trapped in my body. They weren't going anywhere. And I was always mad and I was always disappointed and I was always sad. And this was at a very young age. This was like middle school going into high school. When I think I realized it through my relationship. I realized that I couldn't just suck things up. Like when certain things bugged me, I needed to communicate with them and I needed to express them and I always felt like I needed to be heard. And now, being in a spiritual journey, I know I don't need to be heard. I know if I feel the need that I need to express something, it's because my heart needs to express it, and I should allow myself to express it, but to not expect someone to hear me or to not expect change behavior, you know? Just allow humans to be humans and to take it however they want to. And then that allows me to know what I have to do with my energy and how to protect myself and my energy. If someone doesn't want to understand me, then cool. That just means, you know what, buddy? Then I need to step away from your life. I need to step back from your life because you don't seem to want to find common ground. You don't seem to want to find solutions for these problems or these situations. So that means I have to protect myself and I need to step away. A lot of people cannot handle an emotional being. A lot of people cannot handle emotions, and we all process them and handle them differently. I could think of like Virgo, how they don't really get attached, but they're still emotional in the sense like they provide and they want to see you grow and they want to help. Very different than how a Cancer, it's kind of more motherly and very in tune with your emotions and the little mannerisms and the little behaviors. Virgo, no, Virgo's like more bold and more this and this and this and this. And Virgo doesn't really, it's not like a Cancer that feeds you with so much love. Virgo is just like, I love you, but I'm going to show it to you in different ways and like improving you or helping you with basic need stuffs or helping, you know, where I see that you could be better. Um, Different ways of loving and different ways of showing emotions. But that's another thing that you have to understand. Not everyone shows emotions the way that you do, and not everyone processes emotions the way that you do. And at the end of the day, you have to choose who you are willing to give your energy to and if they are worthy of your energy. Also, karma seems to be a big thing right now with this energy. I mean, water always gives me karma energy. Like, she could either be furious or super calm. Depending on what energy you giving her, she gonna give it right back. But yeah, karma also is like making me think of how like cancers are the number one serial killers. And it's all based off emotions. It's crazy to think, but yeah, our emotions could drive us to do some really wild and crazy shit. And that's why it's very important to keep them in check, knowing how to maneuver through them, knowing how to allow them to flow through you and out of you, basically. Yeah, so with all this heavy energy, just make sure you're staying up with your protection, staying up with your cleansing, protecting yourself from evil eye, because like I said, people are moody, people are chaotic right now, energies are really heightened. So the evil eye could just be very present, especially if you're like living in your truth and others aren't, especially if it's easier for you to communicate your emotions and it's not for others. Like, you know, people send you off vibes. So really keep that in check, really keep your spiritual hygiene in check and connect to plant spirits because plants could teach us a lot. Plants can't survive without water. We can't survive without water. Their roots, it's what navigates the water through their bodies. Our veins is what navigates our waters through our bodies. Plants are literally a reflection of us, just like everything else in the world, and connecting to plant spirits. That's funny because I've been connecting a lot to plant spirits. I've been working a lot with rosemary and cannabis. I've been growing cannabis and I saved a rosemary plant. So, yeah, connecting with plant spirits, it really helps me mellow down, really in tune with myself, really connect to more of an emotional side of me. Wow. Very interesting how that came up for sure. And stay in the present moment because I know like a lot of past shit is coming up and a lot of past shit that we need to revisit. So it could drag us back to the past. But always remember how far you've come and stay in the present moment. Be happy for the moments because the moments add up and be aware of the time that you're spending in the past. Be aware of like how much time you're giving to the past and how much time you're really giving to your present self and how much time you're giving to the things that you love and the things that bring joy to yourself. Connecting to the elements is vital right now. Connecting to all the elements. All the elements have medicine for us right now. I know the water element is very prominent. The water element is loud as shit right now. She is vicious, but all the elements have some kind of medicine for us, for sure, and the directions. But yeah, it's a pivotal time to really put in the work, give yourself your flowers, connect with your passions, connect with the things that fill you with love, and send that funky ass energy out up out of here. Whatever nasty energy is being sent your way, you got two options. Transmute that shit and send love right back to them, or send that shit right back where it came from. And that option is up to you and your emotions and how you navigate through life, basically. But yeah, it's a pivotal point of reflection. And our angels, not only our angels, but our ancestors too, they want us to know that we are protected, that we are looked after, and that putting in the work is going to give you the reward, but you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. And I don't mean work like doing a 9 to 5 bullshit. I mean like that spiritual, hardcore inner work, baby. That shadow work that everyone likes to say is shadow work, which it is because you have to travel through an abyss. You have to travel through this darkness, right? Darkness, quote unquote, which is not quote unquote. It literally is dark. Not in the sense of the negative connotation of the word dark, just like you don't know where you're going and you have to go through it to be able to come out through the other side. I've been babbling for almost an hour, but yeah, I I felt like this was needed. I felt like I needed to release this out and a lot of it is telling my own self, talking to my own self as well. So if the message resonates with anyone, cool, but I think it was more like me just getting my mind right and my thoughts right. And the full moon seems to be important. I don't know what sign the full moon is in and when it's gonna come up, what day is it, but the full moon seems to be important these next 3 months, which uh, are summer months, have been important, and Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy seems to be important. Just being very disciplined at this time. It's what's being called for. It's like discipline with your emotions, discipline with your physical body, discipline with your mind, discipline with everything, and it starts with your emotions. It starts with letting that energy flow through you. But yeah, that's all I have. Like I said, I hope this resonates with someone. I feel like I was just venting and talking and just letting the energies flow through me. If it resonates, cool. If it doesn't, that's cool too. Not all my messages are supposed to be for everyone. But yeah, I hope this cancer season is allowing you to heal a lot of things that you haven't been able to heal and realize a lot of things that you haven't been able to get past. And I hope this cancer season is giving you the realizations and revelations that you need to push forth and to continue to keep walking in your spiritual path and continue to keep walking in the spiritual journey that is filled with blessings and so much abundance. But we do need to clear out certain remnants of the past and certain things that still linger. And that's what this cancer season is. It's like a door open wide, allowing us to walk through. And when we walk through, all this baggage is kind of just like being left behind. It's like they're saying, you don't need any of this, leave it all behind. Where you're going, nothing is needed because you're not lacking anything. And that's beautiful. I think we're just at a new level. June felt like we were starting at a new level, a new beginning with higher wisdom and higher knowledge. And that also means processing our emotions with higher wisdom and higher knowledge. But yeah, thank you for being here, allowing me to vent, hearing me out. Yeah, thank you for the support, for the love. Like this video, share it, comment down below. I love interacting with you guys. I love meeting new people. I love meeting those people that vibe with me. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I I just really love meeting like-minded individuals. So comment down below. Let me know how cancer season is treating you, what's being brought up for you, and how you're maneuvering and moving through it. Go visit some water. Make sure you bring her an offering. And make sure you ask her to help you release some shit because she will. She really will. Just be safe because, all the sharks attacks that has been happening, which I think is really peculiar, specific spot. And I want to say the sharks know what's up with people's energies because they're very in tune. So I don't feel like I will ever have to worry about a shark. But, just keep your eyes peeled. And yeah, I love you guys. Peace out.